SCORE Northeast Wisconsin and WHBY are pleased to bring you Biz Talk, a chance for you to hear from entrepreneurs and professionals as they share their experiences. From starting to sustaining growth, learn the skills needed for your business to be successful. If you miss anything, you can catch the Biz Talk podcast at score.org/Northeast Wisconsin. And now from the Myron Construction Studio, it's Biz Talk on WHBY.
Good morning and welcome to Biz Talk. I hope you're enjoying one of the last Saturdays of summer. It's been a very unique and fun and good summer, and I hope the last few weeks are good for you as well before we start heading into back to school. This week, this is Terry Pinch as one of the co-hosts, and this week my co-host is Rick Sense. Rick, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Terry.
And our guest this week is Ravyn Heuer. Ravyn is the owner of the Laundry Gal. Ravyn, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys.
So, Ravyn, before we get into the Laundry Gal itself, what did you do before you started up the Laundry Gal?
So I used to work for the Home Depot, actually, for 10 years. I was the merchandising supervisor for 8 of the last 10. That was a lot of fun for me. I did a lot of customer service. That was great. And then I got pregnant for the second time, and we couldn't afford daycare. So then I was a stay-at-home mom for about 2 years then, which was an adventure.
So what led you to want to start your own business?
Yeah, so I'm not good at being a stay-at-home mom. I like to do things. I like to move. I like to be active. I like my brain to be active. And I didn't feel like I was accomplishing much. Although, being a stay-at-home mom is definitely, for superheroes. For sure. But I didn't love it. So I needed to keep myself busy. And I had started working for like a third-party national app doing the same thing that I'm doing now, where you sign up for this app and people can order laundry and you go pick it up and you wash it in your home and then you return it to them by 8 p.m. the next day. And I was like, okay, I can do this. This is a cool side hustle. It gives me something to stay busy. Love that. It just kind of started there. But I found out through trial and error that, it did not really cover the expenses working as like a subcontractor for this third party. So, my husband had sold his business back in March of last year. We had the capital funds to get moving and we just took out the middleman. We were like, we're done here. So within a week of deciding to do this, I had filed to get my articles of organization and signed a lease and got cruising.
Okay. And I know we talked before the show started. I know you took the eSeed program. So you must have been thinking about going out on your own before then anyhow.
Yeah.
Was that something you really wanted?
Yeah. My husband was also an entrepreneur business owner. So, I also wanted to be able to support myself, financially because I was staying at home with the kiddos and my husband does support us. Don't get me wrong in that respect, but I felt like I wasn't contributing. So I was trying to figure out a way that I can contribute while also bringing my kids to work with me because that's what we do. They come to work with me. And so my initial idea was an indoor playground. And that when I took the EC class, the idea was to open a larger indoor playground. And that was prior to one opening up in the area anyway. So that was a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people. But yeah, I wanted to do something on my own.
And so, again, it sounds like that was really driven by family needs and where you wanted to be in terms of taking care of your family. So
yeah,
it's really, you're doing a balance of taking care of your family and doing something that keeps you involved and interested in business and bringing in some money.
I'm more than just a mom.
Well, a lot of people would say being a mom is a lot, so
It
that's
is.
good.
I'm just going to pile more on.
Yeah, yeah. Just as an aside, and I was going to mention it in the third segment, we are doing a series of shows on women in business in September, early October, and one of our shows is on exactly this: women who primary role is taking care of family, but need to add something else in another part of the business. And it's
Yeah.
kind of a neat topic where a lot of people don't know there's many other people who want to do this sort of thing. So it's great to have
Hmm.
you on and talk about it now. So
Yeah.
you were working for this as a subcontractor. What did you have to do to get your own business going so quickly?
I guess what exactly do you mean? I don't want to lead off in the wrong direction here.
Like,
So,
obviously, so you knew about LLCs and setting that sort of thing
yep.
up, but finding a place, getting the equipment, how did you have to do those things, and how did you get them done so quickly?
Yeah. So I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive husband and partner in this whole game of life here. So we kind of both tackled it at the same time, quite frankly. He was starting his new job, but still participating in what I was trying to accomplish. And so I had just went on, I think it was either Crexy or LoopNet, and I was just scrolling. It was before we even settled on the idea that we were going to do it. And I was like, I think we should just go look at this place. Like, it's the right size. It's the right fit. It won't involve very much construction or renovations or anything like that. It looks to be exactly what I need. And so honestly, I feel so lucky that I found it when I did. So we went to go see it like 2 days later, and the gentleman who's my landlord now, but he said, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you need here. We'll give you that time to renovate and get going, and you're good. And I was like, that is really cool. So once we were like, no, this is really, really, really going to happen, then my husband then went a different direction, and he was looking for an equipment supplier for me while I was working on getting the LLC all going and opening all of the accounts that we needed to open. And so then I was planning the space, and I was deciding in my head, like, this is what I see, and this is what I want it to look like. And we're both very handy, so that was also helpful. So for 8 weeks, we were here often, just painting walls, hanging wallpaper, painting the floor, building tables. We built my desk. The main thing we had to really wait on was plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. So I don't know if I could have done it as quickly without Josh. So super grateful to have him help me with that. But yeah, we kind of divided and conquered when it came to that.
Okay. So with your contracting experience, you must have had a pretty good feel for this business and the idea that there were a lot of people who would want to pay you to do their laundry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, without naming names, I will say that a couple of my clients from that subcontracting gig kind of meandered over with me. Not too many, but some, which is good. It's fine. And they kind of helped in the initial get up and go start of it. But yeah, for the most part, anything that's happened since then, I wouldn't call it organically because I've had some strategic marketing in place for myself, but a lot of my bigger accounts were just have said, hey, I was just Googling and looking for a laundry service and I stumbled across you. Can we partner? Will this work? Do you have the capacity for this? So, that kind of happened really organically, which I thought was cool.
So effectively, you started up, had all your renovations done, and were not struggling to find customers initially?
Not really, no. August 12th was my first day open. And I would say it took maybe a couple of weeks to start having new customers trickle into my system. So I can see them all but it doesn't necessarily mean that they've all ordered. So it's kind of like a built-in email list. So then I can just turn around and then retarget them to say, hey, don't forget about me. I'm here if you need me. So that was helpful. And then word of mouth was really significant. So I always hear like, oh, so-and-so told me about you, or I have a rewards and referral program. So I have a couple of like, oh, I was referred by this person, and then they get $15. Both of them get $15 off their order for referrals. So it really happened by word of mouth and organically in Facebook ads.
Okay. You have a nice website. How did you hire somebody to do that? Did you do it yourself? How did you go about getting it done?
So the software company that I use, it's called Sense Software, like the dollar cents, CENTS, and it is specifically for laundromats and laundry service. And part of the deal is that they can build you a website and an app, and then you get a POS with them, and then there's like a subscription fee and all of that. So they actually went and built my whole website and built my app. It was kind of like a menu when I was building it. It was kind of like a menu option. So you could choose from a set of stock photos, whatever they had, and then kind of like type in a reply. So then they would just plug and play into the website wherever it went. Once the website went live, though, there were several things that I did not like very much, but I own it. So I have access to then go in and change those things. So I often go refresh it. I changed some verbiage to make Google Analytics a little happier with the words that I'm choosing, and updated with some photos of me personally once I had those photos to offer.
Okay. So you've got a good website. You work pretty hard on the social media as well. Was that a decision up front when you started the business that you were going to focus on, say, Facebook and the website and other activities too to help build your client base?
Yeah, I knew that in the beginning, it was just going to be me. I was solo driving this train wherever it was going. So, I knew that I wanted to do Facebook simply because the Facebook demographic is my demographic. A lot of folks find success on Instagram, but that's not my demographic. So I know where my demographic is, and I'm going to try to cater to them. So I know that Facebook and Facebook ads are going to be beneficial for me. And so I made sure that that was like a direction I was going in. I do have a TikTok. I don't really use it very much personally. I just recently, like 2 weeks ago, hired someone to help me out with some video marketing. So that's been an adventure for TikTok. But yeah, I figured out early on, I know where I need to put myself in order to get myself to where I need to be. But along with that, it was like a lot of boots on the ground work. You know, I had to huff it out to several locations, and I dropped off flyers, and I hung up flyers in like Quick Trip. So I was trying to get myself out there a little bit more.
Okay. So we've reached a point where we are going to take our first break. You're listening to Biz Talk with Score on WHBY, and we're talking with Ravyn Heuer from The Laundry Gal, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk with Score on WHBY. I'm Rick Sense, along with Terry Pinch this weekend, and we are having a very interesting conversation with Ravyn Heuer, and she runs the business Laundry Gal. And I guess, Ravyn, before I get back to questions that I have for you, I'm just going to take a moment to tell our listeners about SCORE. SCORE Northeast Wisconsin serves an 18-county area, plus the county of Menominee in Michigan. We have over 50 volunteers, each an expert in their field, offering entrepreneurs no-cost and confidential mentoring. Those areas of expertise include IT, social media, marketing, cash flow, accounting, strategic planning, workflow, human resources, retail, best practices, and many, many others. In order to register for a no-cost confidential mentoring session and or to learn more about SCORE Northeast Wisconsin, please visit our website at score.org
score.org/Northeast Wisconsin. You can learn more about how the SCORE chapter can assist you with starting and or growing your business, and you can complete an application for a mentoring session. Simply complete the online form and submit it to SCORE. Within a few days, a SCORE mentor will be contacting you to set up a meeting. Remember, SCORE is no cost and offers experts who can offer you assistance in many different areas. To get started, please visit our website at score.org/Northeast Wisconsin. And to support small business people, SCORE Northeast Wisconsin is always looking for new mentors. If you have experience that you would like to share with others, we'd love to talk to you. We welcome volunteers with experience in all aspects of business. Small business owners need your help, and your experience can make a real difference to their success. Go to score.org/Northeast Wisconsin, click on the volunteer button and fill out the short application, and we'll get back to you to explain more. Okay, now, Ravyn, I have my phone here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding this whole concept of having somebody else do my laundry pretty intriguing, okay? So how do I get started? Do I just go out to the app store, and is there an app, or how does this work?
Yeah, I do have an app. So you can go to the App Store or the Play Store, whether you have the iOS or an Android. Go ahead and search the Laundry Gal, and I, in theory, should be the first one that pops up, and you're going to see my logo. It's a white background with the box, and it says the Laundry Gal. Once you go ahead and download that, the platform for the app is almost identical as to if you were going to order it through my website. So it's going to be the same process. You're going to enter in a phone number to sign up, and then you're going to have your account then set up, and you can just pop in there and select whether you want wash dry bag, wash dry fold-in bag. If you want to add any modifiers such as scent beads, fabric softener, dryer sheets, any preference notes, if you prefer free and clear detergent, whatever you would like for your laundry, you put that in there. You click submit order, and then you're ready to go.
Now, do I have to hop in my car and drop it off, or does someone come and get it?
If you're ordering it through the app or online, it is pickup and delivery. So yeah, my pickup and delivery windows are the same. It's 4:30 to 8, Monday through Friday, because I do bring my kiddos along for that adventure. So you just put it in a garbage bag, put it outside of your door, and I will come and snag it from you. And it'll be back to you 24 hours later.
Okay, and let's say I'm at work and I have my pen open and on and I don't realize it and I mark my slacks with ink. How do I let you know that that needs to be addressed in my laundry?
So first of all, you should pre-treat that before it comes to me. I don't always look for stains. That's not really a part of the gig. If I know about them, I will definitely work on them. So you can write that in the preference notes or the order notes in there. Say the brown slacks have an ink stain on them. I pre-treated. What can you do to help get the rest of the ink out? And I'll make sure that I look for those brown slacks and pre-treat that ink stain, although ink is very difficult to get out.
Right. Okay. Well, this seems pretty easy. I mean, if somebody can figure this out, and I feel I could just sit down and have you do my laundry tomorrow already at this point.
Yeah.
So that part of the business is pretty simple, right?
Yeah. I do offer, if you're having a hard time, just give me a call. I can set up the order for you on my end. We can also set up recurring orders. You save 5% for recurring orders. So if you, I've had several of my older demographic who maybe just had surgery and they just can't do their laundry for a few weeks. They set up a recurring order. So I'm going there every Tuesday evening for a pickup, and it's returned every Wednesday evening for however long they need me for. And I can just do that stuff over the phone.
And this sounds like a really perfect Christmas present for parents out there that have sons and daughters in college. Isn't that a great idea? If they're local college students, you could go ahead and take care of that for them.
It is. Yeah. I haven't had any college students yet. I'd love to. I'm pretty close to Lawrence University. Shout out Lawrence University. And if there was multiple pickups on the same day, we could probably work out a pickup and delivery deal. But, yeah, it's great for college students. It's also great for just honestly an overwhelmed mom. Typically, not always. Typically, moms are default parents. They're default caregivers. And that is a chore, especially when you have more than one child. So giving someone that opportunity to take that away and then have it come back clean and folded, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful present.
Now, networking is really important in your business, I'm assuming, and obviously you seem to be very good at it already, calling a shout out to Lawrence University this morning. So how does that play a role in your business so far?
Yeah, I will say it is very tricky to network when I have my kids with me. At least going to networking events, it's hard. It's harder because most networking events are not really kid friendly. So a lot of what my networking turns into is one-on-one meetings or phone calls or even back and forth emails. But it's important for me let me just go back and say, I'm really the only wash and fold service in this area that's strictly wash and fold. There's some wash and fold that is within a laundromat, but it's marketed differently. I'm strictly wash and fold right now, and I'm the only one in the market right now that is me. So I don't necessarily have a similar colleague to reach out to. So it's important for me to find folks that I can bounce those ideas off of, and we can have constructive conversations about what might work for both of us. For instance, April, who's been on the show before, April and I, we've had several conversations. How can we better each other's business? So she spends time telling her clients about the Laundry Gal and how we can help them. And then I also have brochures for the things that April works on my desk and in my store, so that those folks that are coming in can also learn about other resources in the area as well. I'm also part of the Motherhood Alliance, which I'm not sure if anyone else is familiar with, but the Motherhood Alliance is a huge online directory of wellness providers. So if you're looking for a specific kind of wellness provider that you can't find anywhere else, it's a free directory for others to access, and I'm on that directory as well. And you can just type it in, search for a name, and find what you're looking for. If you want to be a part of it, it's kind of a different story. But if you're just looking, it's free for you. So same thing. I just need to get my name out there so people know that I exist. And the best way for me to do that is reaching out to friends, colleagues, and peers.
Okay. We're at the point where we're going to take our next break. You've been listening to Biz Talk with Score and WHBY, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk. This week we're talking to Ravyn Heuer of The Laundry Gal. But before I get back to Ravyn, I have an education update to give to you. First of all, I just want to remind everybody that on September 22nd in Wisconsin Dells, SCORE will be having its Accelerate Your Business for Women Entrepreneurs event, where there's a series of speakers, panels, networking opportunities for you to learn more about how to help accelerate your business. Okay? So you can find out more about that at score.org/Northeast Wisconsin, and you look at our homepage and you'll see a site or a place there to go on and look at it, register if you want. It's a low cost, less than $100, and it's a really good opportunity for networking. Related to that, Biz Talk will be supporting that women's event. There are a series of shows going from late August through early October, and we will be focusing on various women entrepreneurs in the area. We'll be announcing more of those about the guests who will be on some of those shows next week, and letting you know what's going on. But we've got a CEO of an area business. We've got a person who heads a Women's Leadership Institute. We're doing a show on work-life balance and working part-time while raising families, or even what becomes full-time after you started part-time raising families. We've got another show we're wrapping up working on now, but a number of them coming up to talk really about more aspects of women in business. So all of that's happening in September. Again, the event itself is Monday, September 22nd in Wisconsin Dells, and then we'll have a series of shows on Biz Talk in support of that. So hopefully you'll listen in, and if you're interested, go and register. This is the third year we're doing that event, and it's sold out every year, so every of the other 2 years. So go and take a look and see if it works for you. So with that, now we're going to turn back to Ravyn. And Ravyn, I want to continue some of the discussion on your business. You mentioned doing the pickup and delivery from 4:30 to 8. How important is that? if it's a laundromat you're going to, they don't do that. Is this a core part of your service?
Yeah, so pickup and delivery is about 83% of all of my business. And it's simply just convenience. So it's not always convenient for you to go to a laundromat. It's not always convenient for you to be able to drop off at my location, although you're welcome to drop off at my location if you'd rather. But this is really about convenience. And then there's value in that as well, right? Like your time is money. And so saving that time to spend with your family while I essentially handle the rest of that. I think that's important. And then as far as delivery, there is a charge for delivery. So if you're within 5 miles of my location, it's only $8.95 for round trip. So it's $3.98 per way, which is, I think, a pretty good deal.
Okay. So when I was looking on your website a couple weeks ago, one notice popped up which says we now do ironing. So you've added ironing to the wash and fold. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was kind of a spur of the moment whim idea. I had a couple of people call that asked, "Hey, do you do ironing? Hey, do you do ironing?" And I was like, "No, not yet, but I suppose it's something I could look into." And then I had a gentleman who owns an Airbnb ask me the same thing. He said, I typically iron these sheets. He owns an Airbnb that is a commercial business for him, and he wants to make sure they look nice for his guests. Do you do ironing? And I said, you know what? Absolutely, I do ironing. And so then I got an ironing board and an iron, and I figured out my pricing for that. And then just ironing has taken off since then. Surprisingly, I mostly iron sheets, which shocked me. I do have a gentleman who lives upstairs in the building that I lease who really likes his pants ironed a very specific way. So I think that's kind of cutesy anyway. And I make sure that I do that because, quite frankly, this is a personal laundry service. Whatever I do to your clothes is what I want you to have done to your clothes, whatever you like. So if you like a center line or a center crease down the front of your pants, an iron can do that for you. And I can do that.
So I have to ask, do you like ironing?
No, it's hot. I've burnt my arm several times reaching over. I burn it on the top of the iron. And then it's just hot in general because you're around a hot iron. But what I do like about it is it's so crisp and flat and clean looking. That's a vibe. I really like that.
So next, let's talk a little bit about the business itself. You started up and it was you running it. Do you have employees now?
I have 2 employees. I love them. They are the greatest. I have Corey who helps me in store. So she does a lot of folding, swapping loads, customer service. She's a little bit more customer facing. And then I also have Crystal who does pickups and deliveries for me 3 days a week or whenever I can't get around to it. So she is a pickup and delivery face. Some of those nights when I have to go to Fremont, but I also have to go to Combined Locks, we diverge and conquer. So she'll take the half that's one way and I'll take the half that's the other way. But yeah, I love them. They are also both previously stay-at-home moms turned little worker bees now. And I think that's fun.
So, 1, how did you make the decision to add employees? And 2, how did you go about finding them?
Yeah, so I was getting to a point. These hands can only fold 190 pounds of laundry a day. And I was doing more than 190 pounds of laundry a day. So I was at a point where I really needed help. And I knew that the 2 days that I needed the most help were Tuesday and Wednesday, just based on history. So when I was looking for employees, I was very specific in how I worded it. I'm looking for someone who's part-time. B, I'm looking for these hours. C, this is the amount of hours that I can give you. And D, I'm a small business. This is what I can pay you. If you're going to knock these 4 boxes, perfect. If you're detail oriented and you can follow directions, that's even better because I can train how to fold clothes. That's not complicated. It's checking all of the other boxes that really matter. So the gal that I did end up hiring, I actually worked with her 15 years ago. And she moved out of state for a while, and she came back and she said, hey, this sounds like a really great fit for me. Her kids will be in school during the day. She can leave to go pick them up. We had an interview. It was between her and another gal, and I chose her. She's been a perfect fit. And I don't think I could have made a better choice with that respect. And then as far as delivery, my delivery driver, it kind of came out of nowhere. Honestly, I needed help. And my neighbor was like, I can help you. That's not a problem. And she's also a stay-at-home mom. So her husband gets home at 4:00, and then she rolls out to do a couple hours of deliveries. She gets her out of the house, gets her away from her 2 little kids, gets her some time to herself. And that kind of just happened on a whim. But I'm super grateful, and they've both been really, really great assets.
Okay. And do you see hiring more in the future?
I think so, Terry. I'm thinking so. I have, specifically before next summer, I have a huge summer camp in Wapaka that I picked up, and it's about 1,000 pounds of laundry a week. And this last summer, Corey and I were working 12 to 14-hour days just to get camp done, and I don't want to do that again. That was too much. And so I think that at least for that stretch of summer and as we grow, I will definitely need another person to help with folding and swapping out laundry. I also have a commercial client, a restoration company. So whenever there's fire, water, or mold and they have textiles that need to be laundered, I get those as well. So, and that's a little bit more random, but right now I have 42 bags of textiles to wash and only 4 hands to do it. So I think so. I think we're going to need to get some more hands.
And I am assuming, given the amount of laundry you're doing, that you have to have industrial type of equipment.
I do. I have 3 commercial washers and dryers, and I'm working on getting a 4th one. Yeah. So then I'll have 3 30-pound washers and dryers and 1 20-pound.
And for the restoration services, I got to imagine some of that stuff comes in pretty rough shape. So,
yeah, it just smells. Typically with the restoration, they're going to throw out anything that isn't salvageable. But what you'll find in that restoration is things that just smell.
Like fire.
Right. Yes, exactly that. And then they prefer that you don't use anything scented because they don't want their fire clients to be like, oh, they're just trying to cover a smell. So there's a specific detergent used in washing on hot just to get those smells out.
Okay. So next thing is you're offering a service, wash, fold, and iron, that many people consider a chore, and that's saying it nicely. Other way of saying it is sometimes they hate it. How do you make it fun?
You know, I think it's most fun when there's someone else there with me, right? So Corey works Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays right now for sure. And when she's around, it's like a millennial party. So we turn on fun music and we just talk about things. We talk about our kids. And as we're folding next to each other, I've got 2 very large tables that are butted up next to each other. She gets the left table. I get the right table. Whenever we switch, it's really weird feeling. So we try not to do that. We have our unassigned, assigned tables. And we just kind of like, it's almost like hanging out with your friend all day, but you're also folding laundry. And it's kind of fun. When I'm alone though, when I don't have Corey there, I will put in my earbuds and listen to a book or, a podcast, or I like true crime. And then my son is there also typically every day for summer now. And it's never boring when my 5-year-old's around. He's my shift supervisor.
Okay. So do you find doing laundry relaxing?
I think it depends on what it is. I don't like matching socks, but you know, someone's got to do it, and that someone is me. I have a very specific way of folding 2-piece kid pajamas. That's a lot of fun. I actually do like that. And I like teaching other people that. I should have a video coming out soon showing you how to fold 2-piece pajamas, coming out on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But, yeah, I don't actually mind laundry. It's tedious for sure, but I've done it so much now. I have washed so much stuff that it's like second nature to fold anything. It just happens so fast.
Okay. So, one other thing that you've been involved in, you've done a couple of them, one for women and the other for back to school, were clothes swaps. Can you talk about what made you decide to do that and how you went about getting those done?
Yeah. So initially I said to myself, Ravyn, what is an event that you can plan that has to do with clothes? Because you're a laundry service, so it would be weird for you to plan something that didn't involve clothing items. And I said, boom, a clothing swap. That would be so smart. And so the first one that I thought of was to cater towards women, because women like to shop. Like that makes the most sense. I haven't done a men's clothing swap because I'm not sure if it would garner any attention. If it does, shout out and I'll do it. But if it doesn't, that's fine too. But yeah, so we decided on like a spring women's clothing swaps. We were able to bring up to 10 items that were new, gently used. We just didn't wear them anymore as long as they didn't have any rips, stains, holes, tears, whatever. And then you could choose 10 new to you items. And I think the most fun part about that was just like fostering a sense of community. So you have all these women coming together. And also it's sustainable. That's less clothes going into the garbage, essentially. That's less clothes that are going to go to maybe a thrift store that won't use them, that will end up in the garbage or something along those lines. It's also just like financially smart. If you can't afford to go out and get new clothes, but say you need something nice for an event coming up, that was the perfect opportunity or say you lost a bunch of weight, that was the perfect opportunity to bring in things that don't fit you and find things that do fit you. And then while we were planning that event, I had thought about the back to school event. Now, both of these events, I have it up here, like in my brain, but I have a harder time putting it out in real life. So that's why I connected with Jessica Williams of Whimsical Celebrations, because she is an event planner and that's what she does. She puts things out in real life. So she partnered with me on both events. It went fantastic. The back to school event I thought was, again, a great opportunity. Kids' clothes are so expensive. I know that because I have 2 kids. And I thought it would be great then to offer, you can bring in 15 items and exchange them for 15 new to your kids items before school starts. Like it was a good opportunity to do that. At that back to school event, we did offer games, face painting, bubble tea. We held it at the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley. All of that worked out great. So sustainable, giving back. I'm all about community. Plus, I'm a girl's girl.
Okay. So as you look at that activity as both helping the community and letting people know more about your business, what has been the most successful thing you've done to really inform people about the Laundry Gal?
The most impactful marketing I think that I've been able to do is Facebook ads because, like I said, that is my demographic. Yeah. Now, I have done several raffle baskets. I did like a couple of like gift certificate giveaway things. I've tried to be a part of events that other small businesses are hosting. I've tried to do all those things and I was part of the Kids Expo last year and I raffled away a little laundry play set. All of those things are nice that my name is getting out there and in front of people, but I haven't seen a lot of return on my investment for that. So what I have seen returns on though is the Facebook ads because of where that demographic lies for me.
Okay. So, what are the benefits of a wash, fold, and iron service for people? Why should they think about it?
Because your time is money, right? Like my time is also money, but your time is money. And so why should you waste the time that you could spend doing anything else with your family on doing your family's laundry? If you just had surgery, or if your washer and dryer are in the basement and you can't access them anymore, or like it doesn't even have to be a luxury item. It can be just something that you need to do, right? Like if you, I don't know, you have 5 kids and you just don't have the time. I have the time. I have the time to help you with that. So I always like to say, whether you need help once a month, once a week, or once in a while, I can help you. Do you just need a refresh? I can help you. Did your closet just flood? That's a real story that just happened to someone. Her master closet flooded and she needed all of her clothes washed. I can do that. Did your washer just break? Cool. I can help you with that. It may be a luxury to some. It is a luxury to some, but for others, it's a necessity.
Okay, great. We are at the point where we're going to take our final break. You're listening to Biz Talk with Score on WHBI. I'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk. I would like to thank the sponsors and donors who bring Biz Talk with Score to you each weekend. We couldn't present Biz Talk without their generous support. Thank you to Hailing & Associates. Hailing & Associates helps small businesses and individuals not just prepare tax returns, but plan ahead. A collaborative approach that helps you minimize taxes for this year and beyond. Hailing & Associates. Personal connection, positive results. Thank you to Johnson Financial Group. Wherever you are in your life or the life of your business, Johnson Financial Group works to understand your goals and matches the banking and wealth services needed to help you complete your mission. Thank you to the Business News for promoting our program in the biweekly business newspaper serving Northeast Wisconsin. The paper is delivered biweekly and contains relevant and useful information about the business community in the region. We would also like to recognize the David L. and Rita E. Nelson Fund within the Community Foundation for the Fox Valley region for their generous donation in support of Biz Talk and Score Northeast Wisconsin. Now we'll turn back to our guest, Ravyn Heuer from the Laundry Gal. And Ravyn, could you let our listeners know how they can find out more about you and contact the business?
Yeah, so you can head to www.thelaundrygal.com. If you wanted to learn more about my services, you'll see that tab at the top. And if you wanted to place an order, you'll see a Schedule Now button on the top right. I also have that app available on either iOS or the Play Store, so you can go in and schedule an order there. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as The Laundry Gal.
All right, great. So given how well you've done and grown the business since you started up, what do you see for the future?
This is such a fun question, and I'm so glad you asked because this just happened today. So I want to have a one-stop shop, wash and fold laundry, self-service laundromat, and some sort of dry cleaning situation in that mix. But this morning, I went and visited a laundromat that could use some TLC, and my husband and we still have some discussions to make with the bank, but we're probably most likely going to purchase this laundromat and get it renovated. And then that can be a part of the Laundry Gal triangle of life. And then when both of those things, so my wash and fold as is and the laundromat is successful to kind of hold, then we can put funds into that one-stop shop. I also put there's a machine called a Presso, which is like a dry cleaning machine that will launder. It's one shirt at a time or one item at a time, but it only takes 4.5 minutes start to finish. Then you can bag it and send it out the door. It's a lot more eco-friendly. It doesn't use harsh chemicals, and that's really the direction that I'm trying to go in anyway. So along with trying to add a laundromat in under my umbrella, I'm also trying to add in an eco-friendly alternative for dry cleaning. So I'm really excited for both of those things to happen, and I cannot wait.
So you're building a laundry empire.
A laundry empire built on your dirty clothes.
So as you look back, what have you learned?
Oh, Terry, there's been so much. I specifically learned that I cannot wear all of the hats. Turns out that's a lot to do. I applaud any small business owner that can do 100% of it by themselves. Like, love that for you. I can't, so I'm recruiting others to help me with that. But yeah, I can't wear all the hats. It's a lot of work.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for being on the show. I'd heard a lot about you before. You bring a lot of positive energy to a business that many other people consider a chore, and you take some value or free up valuable time for them. So that's great to see with the business and how well you've done with it. Okay. So for listeners, you can find this episode on our website, score.org/Northeast Wisconsin. It'll be out there next week. You can also hear episodes from the last, I think it's up to 7 or 8 years now on that site. I also mentioned too that we're in it's either 25th or 26th year. We're not really sure, but we've been on the air for a long time and really do want to thank WHBY for their help. So with that, we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you, everyone.